Hi everyone, it's Natalie from VidVersity, and this is a really practical guide on getting started with VidVersity. So right at the very beginning, what do you even do and how do you make your first course? So it is a three-step process. You have to create a video, which you can do either with a phone or any other device, and then you've got to upload it to here. If you've made it with your phone, you can upload using the VidVersity app. Otherwise, we just upload as normally, where we go in. Good piece of advice is to add a category for each series of videos that you upload. So if it's one video that you're going to create a course from and maybe cut it down, or is it a series of videos you're going to make a course with lots of little videos, add a category each time you do that, because it really will help you manage, because you'll see that I have lots of videos now and it really does help me manage them. You then go into here, record or select. So record is if you were in an iOS device like an iPad, you could directly record and it will land here. Otherwise, you simply then go in and select your video wherever that might be and then click on open and it will upload it for you. So let's just have a look at what that looks like. So a couple of things about that. When you upload it, you can upload several at a time. So we could highlight a few and upload them. You click on open. Really handy feature is you can rename it from here, so that you could make it a meaningful title if it isn't already. You decide where it's going to go, so I've got a webinar category, and you click on upload. The important thing on this page at this stage is you must keep this page open. There is a message saying there. So this is currently uploading it from wherever into VidVersity, and you must not close this page whilst it's uploading. And a bit of a word of advice, if you're new to videos, the whole process of uploading and then we convert it can take some time. So an hour-long video might take 5 or 6 hours. So just be aware that when you're working with video, things are a little bit slower depending on the speed of your internet. So you'll see this one here, we're still uploading and it's moving along nice and fast, which is great, but it does take some time. Once it's done that, it then goes to go in the stage of processing. So it's about to start processing. So it's doing that now, and it tells you that you will receive an email once that's done. So where has it gone while that's happening? So if you go to Video Editor, there it is. It's currently processing, and you will receive an email to say it's processing, ready to go. So back to the front page, those steps is we've uploaded a video. That's the first step. And then the second place we go to is edit video. So I'm going to go to the video editor, and remember I made a category called webinar. I already popped a video in there that I made on my phone. So while we're waiting for that one, we can click on edit here. Now the editor is a very basic editor. It's really used to top and tail, so cut things from the start or the beginning, or otherwise chunk up. So often I think it's useful, instead of having a full long 1 hour video or 30-minute video, break it into chapters. Now the way you do that is you watch the video here. This is your original video, and you might say that it might have taken me a few seconds to get started because I used my phone, for instance. So I might just go, I want it to mark in there, so 1 second. So you can use these plus and minus as well to make it if you can't quite get it right. You then watch the video for as long as you want. So you watch it and you say, actually that's a natural place for me to cut that video. So I mark out. So what am I doing here? I'm saying I want the video, this chapter that I'm about to create, which is a smaller version of this video, or part of it, is going to start at 1 second and it's going to finish at 34 seconds, which we can see there, and also it tells us here. So over here, I always number mine, so I'll do introduction, because what happens is it then makes it easier when we build the course to bring it all together if you make the name really meaningful here. And I pop it in the category that I'm working in. So it's defaulted to the category I already had. So click on cut and save. And you'll see down here it's now saying it's made another video from 1 second to 34. It's processing, but I can keep working. So I could say I want my next video to mark in at 34, and I might want to mark it out at 1:11. Again, if you can't quite get it right, because I'm not happy with that, I might just move that a little bit there. but you would be watching the video, so these cuts would be meaningful. And basically you're getting rid of everything blue. And it's probably a good time to say, when I click on cut and save, I am not actually cutting the original video. It is just making a copy of the video and then creating a smaller version of it. So that's my 34 to 1 minute 12. And let's just make one more so we can build a little course. So we're now going to mark in from here, or wherever you chose to do it. We'll mark in from here, and then we'll mark out from there. And bearing in mind this is not real, we would spend a bit of time making these marks and cuts in a proper time, or in a place that was meaningful. Now, often when I'm watching a video, if someone was referring to a PowerPoint, I slide along and I can see when the PowerPoint changes, and that might be a useful time to actually cut a video. Whilst that's going, let's go back to, so we can move when that's processing, there's no problem with that. Back to the front page. So what have we done? We've uploaded a video, we've edited a video. We've now got to create a course. So up here where it says create course, we're going to call this Welcome to My Webinar. Now this is what the learner will see. This is going to be on the top right hand corner. I'm going to make a category again. So you have to make categories in a number of places, but it's useful practice to get into. So we've made a category for the video. Now we're making a category for the course. Keywords, they're useful for me when I end up with loads of courses and I actually want to I want to search for them using key terms. Presenter, that's me. And I might say I'm from VidVersity. You can add a little image if you want. So an image would be, let's go and find one from my downloads. I'll see if I can find something. I'll put that one. You can put whatever you want there. And the most important thing to know about any of this is you can change it. Any of this can be changed before you publish, so it doesn't matter. Click on save. So we've made a course shell. And that's simply, we've got to go down here and say, can they skip the chapters or not? So just remember to do that. Click on save. So we've made a course shell. There's absolutely nothing in there. So we've got to go and start putting some videos in, because every single course, the starting point is videos. So I'm going to go down to our video editor, if you remember. And here was we'll go to webinar, find our main video that we were working in. So here it is. Okay, so that's the main video, and then here's the 3 cuts that I just made. So what I can do is I can go tick, select, select. I can go down here, and because we've already created a Welcome to My Webinar course, I can click on that, click on Add to Course, and now click Edit Course, and very quickly it just populated that. So let's have a look what we've done already by clicking on Publish. Now again, when you're working with videos, publishing can take some time. That's quite small video, so that wasn't. Let's click on Preview. And very quickly, what have we done? Instead of the video just being 1 page, it's now some chapters. There's our image we put up there. There's the logo for VidVersity, but in your own organisation, you'll have your own. And then it tells you the name of it, the presenter and the profile. So we're really already well on our way. So what did we do? We uploaded a video, we edited it, and then we built a course by just adding all of those chapters. So our next step is to really bring it alive and make that a bit more interactive. So we unpublish it, we edit and lock, so that says no one else can be working in that, it's just me. And you'll see here, this is where we could change that image if we want, or the presenter. It all can be changed very easily. The title can be changed there. So what are the kind of things we want to add into it? Well, one thing I quite like adding to it is a PowerPoint at the beginning of it. So let's have a look at how you do this. That's probably the most complicated process that we've got here. So we'll go to our PowerPoints. So I'll open up a PowerPoint, and here's a PowerPoint that we just, let's say we'll call it whatever you want. So how VidVersity integrates with Google Classroom was one that I've got there. So I'm going to go how VidVersity I'll call it my webinar. So this is a PowerPoint that I want to put inside as the opening page, so to make it look good. So I'm going to go up to File, Save As, and I'm going to save that as a JPEG or a PNG. So let's call it my webinar. If you're in a Mac, you do export. So what we're doing is we're making our PowerPoints into images. So we're going to go to PNG, click on Save. You can elect to save just that slide or all the slides. I'm going to do all of them. And it will open them, put them in a separate folder. Now back into VidVersity. There is a field called Slideshow Bank, which is over here. Again, create a category. This is so we can use our slides again. Click on Save. So if you already had a category, that's fine. Now we click on Add Slideshow, and we'll call this maybe the intro. So you build your slideshows first before you do anything. Now if I go into the slideshow, which I can find by going to Webinar, you'll see there's nothing in there. So we go to Edit Slides and you choose your files. Now our files, the way PowerPoint creates them is it creates an entire folder called My Webinar, and there's all the different slides. So I might put that one and that one. I don't want that middle one. Click on Open, and I've built myself a little slideshow. So now back at Courses. So what have I done? I've gone to PowerPoint and made some slides. I've saved them as images. Now I want to put them inside. So you have to create a little slideshow. Now I want to put them inside my video. So if I go to here, there's my videos. These are all the different things I can add. And here's an Add Existing Slides. Find the webinar. There it is. Click on Save. And I use this green ball to decide where I want my slides to appear. And in this instance, I want them at the very start. So I click on the tick. Let's have a look what we've just done. We have edited our videos, we've chunked them into chapters, and now if I go into here, instead of the front page being me, there I've added a slide. Doesn't that look great? And then the next button is automatically put there because there's a second one which I put some instructions. Now I click OK and we're off and running. So that's the first thing. If you want to add slides that stop the video and actually have like a little slideshow, you can do that. The other kind of slide you can add, let's go where it says Edit and Log, is down in, so we're back into our video. So that was a slide that stopped the video and we put a next button and then it went. Alternatively, you might want a slide sitting up in the top right-hand corner, left-hand corner, bottom right-hand corner that sort of is imposed onto the video and pops up as the person's talking. And that's where we use the subtitle or annotation. So you have to put a title there. So I'd call this, I might call this Slide 1. I want this to sit in the top right-hand side. An option then comes up to select an image. I can already have put some images there. Alternatively, again, I could go to my video here. Let's just say that there. Okay, I've put a slide there. Again, you can decide where you'd like that to appear. So I want that to appear, let's make that at 6 seconds. And we've now got a slide. I always think it's good to go back and have a look at what you're doing because then you really understand each of the steps. So we've edited our video, we've added the chapters, we've now added a slide on the front page. We added 2. And now at 6 seconds, something's going to pop up. Now I've put it on the right-hand side. That's going to go over my face. So let's swap. I'd be looking at that saying, no, that person is standing over to the right. We need to swap that. So we'll go down to here and we'll click on and we'll change that to top left. Okay, so we've done that. So what else can we add? We can add some questions. So adding questions, again, you'd add a category. So you'll start getting sick of categories, but they really do help you because now inside each of, if I build these questions, I can always repurpose them. So I might say this webinar is useful, true or false. Let's hope so. So I've called it true, and my feedback is let's hope so. Click on save, and I want that to appear at 10 seconds. I'm going to add another question. This time I'm going to, again, under my webinar, you see, under my questions, I could now find that question again if I want to repurpose it. So it builds a question bank for you. I'm going to go to radio, which is this webinar is useful, not useful. Got to be able to spell. Type, I should say. Okay, let's assume that you hoped it's useful. You can go there and you can say, yes, it is useful. And you could let the learner have more than one try. So if you wanted to, you could say there, click on save, and we've now put 2 questions to appear at 10 seconds. All right. The other kind of things we can do is add resources. So resources might be click to open, let's say, let's find a website. I'm going to do Mathletics because that's what I've been working in schools every day at the moment. So whatever it might be. So you might, I'm going to copy that. I'm going back to our video, and you say click to open Mathletics website. You could link to all kinds of things. You might click to open the Zoom link. You might be whatever you want. You could also, might be a PowerPoint. It might be a PDF, something that you want them to look at. We put that there. Now, if you leave that ticked, it will pop up and stop the video. If you don't tick it, it'll just be something that's available in the resource library, which will make a bit more sense to you in a minute. So, where do we want that to appear? You couldn't have them both at 10 seconds. You can have questions both at 10 seconds, but you can't have different types of interactions. So we'll make that appear at 13 seconds. And the last thing is you can add notes if you want, which notes pop up on the screen as a sort of key takeaway. So that might be something like, today is a webinar about VidVersity. ... Okay, and again, you can have that pop up wherever you would like. So we'll make sure that that's not clashing with anything else, and we'll say that's 19 seconds. So very quickly, we'll publish that. Now, if you were publishing you'd added not a video, like what we've just done, you can tick in that box which says republish the assets, which will just republish all of the interactions but not the video because you've already processed that, and that can speed it up. So let's have a look at our course and how we've built this really quickly to be something much more engaging. So we've got our videos there. We have got me talking. At 6 seconds, we've got the slide appearing there on the left-hand side. We've then got our questions. There we've got our link to Mathletics. And finally, we've got a note that appears. Now, the important thing in relation to resources and notes, under resources, all of them are aggregated there. So if you put a whole lot of links, that's a really great place to build a resource library. And the same goes with notes. They all get aggregated and they become a printout. So we have taken a video from a phone and made it into an incredibly engaging experience. Now, how do we deliver it to our students? Well, the first thing is you've got some information to complete. So under navigation, decide if you want your learners to be able to skip chapters or not. Under tracking, decide if you're going to track them by questions or is it chapters or a combination of both, and you put your mark in there. So if it was they have to get 80%, you might put that there. And then there's 3 ways to deliver. You can deliver via SCORM. So if you've got a learning management system, you literally generate a SCORM file from there and then you download your SCORM file up here. LTI, you create LTI credentials. And finally, we've got the share. Now, share is available in 2 ways. One is you click on not shareable there and it then creates it into a shareable link. And the shareable link is anyone in the world can see it. And you get just some basic data of how many people opened it. Alternatively, you can do it by private registration. And by private registration means that you've actually invited the person. So you've put their first name, last name, email. Once you've done that, you then can send an invite for them to verify their email, and they'll be able to launch the course by simply logging into benchmarkvidversity.com, and they'll have their own login details. And then you will have some data back on your front page, the person who set this up. Either if you set up the individual course, you've got access, or if you're the key admin, you can see all the courses that have been launched in your organisation. Click on View Progress Report, and you'll be able to get some data of who's registered, who's started, and if in this instance no one's passed this course. So someone started it, but if they'd passed, they'd get that. So it is quite exciting. Without a learning management system, you're able to deliver this and actually see who's done it, make it access protected, so it's highly, highly private, and you'll be able to track who's done everything and who's done the courses, started them and completed them and registered. So that gives you a really quick overview, but an understanding of how VidVersity from start to finish, in 20 minutes, we uploaded a video and made it into something really, really interesting and engaging. So feel free to always reach out, and any questions are always welcome.